Jeffrey Epstein, the sex offender. Nearly 200 names associated with him are set to be released by a New York judge.
Yes, Prince Andrew and Bill Clinton are both expected to be on the list, though the former US president has not been accused of anything illegal. Lawyers for Prince Andrew have previously denied any claims of wrongdoing.
So they may throw some new light on sex trafficking directed by Epstein, and his associate Ghislaine Maxwell Epstein, of course, died 4 years ago. Joining us now to discuss this, royal and showbiz reporter Kinsey Schofield. The thing is, Kinsey, they're only releasing these names because they're already in the public domain. Are we likely to learn anything new?
I do think we'll learn some new information because, for instance, you mentioned former President Bill Clinton, who has denied that he was ever on Epstein's island. So he is referenced, according to ABC News, as Doe 36 in these documents. And according to Virginia Giuffre, who is the reason that all of these documents exist, this defamation lawsuit brought on by her, she says she had an encounter with Bill Clinton, nothing salacious, but she saw him on Epstein's island. Clinton denied being there. So perhaps some people might be caught out lying, and we might find out some people had deeper relationships than they had initially suggested. For instance, Microsoft's Bill Gates says that he only ever talked about charities with Epstein. So perhaps there's information in there that leads us to believe that there was a deeper friendship or association. We expect to see the name Elon Musk on these documents, perhaps. And of course, Prince Andrew.
Kinsey, we concentrate a lot on, obviously, the men involved in this. What fascinates me are the women who we might hear named in all of this, and what their involvement would be with this, whether it would be business, whether it be salacious, whether it be sexy, whatever it's supposed to be. It's a crime, whatever was involved with a lot of these people. And I just often wonder, what is a woman doing involved in the middle of all of this?
Well, that's a great point, because one individual that I spoke to about this said that a lot of victims' names might be exposed with these documents, and they might not appreciate it, and they might be re-traumatized all over again by having their names out there. So you make a very great point. While everybody's their tongues are wagging because they want to see some of these bigger personalities and these powerful personalities get in trouble or get called out, the reality is that there might be some names of individuals on these documents that are in hiding, that don't want to have to revisit the trauma.
What about Prince Andrew? We know that he obviously settled multi-millions with Virginia Giuffre, who's pictured there. Money, I think we believe, was lent or given to him by his mother, and he sold his Swiss chalet to pay this off, although he denies having done anything wrong. What could this mean for him if his name is on the list? Because it will obviously bring his name back into the spotlight in a way that certainly Buckingham Palace would prefer it wasn't.
I agree. I think that what's going to happen really...
Oh dear, some tech gremlins this morning. I think we've lost Kinsey.
I think also it's interesting to reflect on Prince Andrew's relationship with his former wife, Sarah Ferguson, who was reintroduced back. Kinsey's back with us now. Kinsey, we're just talking about Andrew and Sarah Ferguson and how she's seemingly back into the fold, invited to the church service on Christmas Day with the rest of the royal family. And apparently a lot of this is to do with how she stood by and supported her husband throughout all of this.
Well, Kinsey, I also read this morning that they might be getting married again in one of the papers. There was some speculation that they could get remarried. Just a rumour.
I've said for a while that I do think that would, enhance his PR. I think that would be, because we like Fergie. I mean, let's not forget, Fergie received a huge loan from Jeffrey Epstein. And truly, when it comes to Prince Andrew, I think it's guilt by association. How does Fergie get away with it and Prince Andrew doesn't? When he denies the claims against him, we're just irritated by his association with Jeffrey Epstein, it seems like the same thing. But I do think that the royal family is going to stand beside him no matter what. We saw it not only at Sandringham, but remember those clear pictures we saw of Prince Andrew in the car with both the Prince and Princess of Wales on the way to church at Balmoral. So, I think that he has stressed to them that there are no more skeletons in the closet. It's not a great look. And I do think that you are as strong as your weakest team member, and unfortunately, he's their weakest team member. But they're gonna. It's never complain, never explain. That's what their strategy is going to be.
Okay, Kinsey, thank you with that.
That's your strategy as well.
Never complain.
Well, I don't know about the complain bit. Never explain.
No, never
anyway.
complain, never explain. It's a good strategy. It works for the royals.